Hey, appreciate y'all. A little bit late today, a little bit late start, but super excited to really get into everything that is going on at the Olympics on day 8, day 7 of being here. Like, honestly, a lot of races, a lot of events didn't happen. They were spread out, but like they were knockout shots, Aaron. Knockout shots throughout the whole entire day.
Nah, jam-packed, 200 final, 400 hurdle final, 110 final, world records, long jump final. This was a big day for the stars. There are a lot of stars was out today.
Yeah. And joining us today, we got a special guest. This guy right here, somebody behind the scenes. Low key, he's like a Nick Fury or like maybe like an Agent Coulson. You know what I mean? Like literally putting everything together. The training partner, life partner to Don Harper Nelson as well. Like Alonzo Nelson is joining us on the podcast. You also coach high school in Illinois. Am I correct? One of the best teams in Illinois. Was a great athlete at Southern Eastern Missouri University. Killed it over there. Southeastern. So, join us today, bro. I appreciate it. Like, you guys are about to really get a lot of knowledge from this man right here.
For real. He's one of those if you know type people. So we honored to have him on the podcast with us today.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
But Aaron, let's get into it. I'm Joshua Potts, Mr. Pottsville, always with the brother with the same mother, Aaron Potts, Super Hot Potts, and you're watching and listening to
Two black runners and friends, the Olympics again. And we joined by my boy. Yes, we gon' go. Hey.
All right, man. Let's get right into it. Like the women's 400-meter hurdles, one of the greatest races we ever seen. A world record, 50.37. I don't have it right in front of me. 50.37 by Sydney McLaughlin Levrone. Something that we expected to happen, but to actually see it happen is different. But I think one thing we didn't expect was Anna Cockrell coming up second place, the silver 51.87. Right behind her, Femke Bol with the 52.15. Jasmine Jones in fourth with 52.29. So USA getting three of the top 4 spots. Amazing performance by them. Zoe, let's start with you. What was your reaction? What made Sydney McLaughlin Levrone different today to get this victory? I don't know. It looked the same to me, honestly, but what made her
also
what's up? Go ahead.
I was gonna say also share your thoughts, like, before they lined up, what were you thinking too?
Okay. So like Sydney spoiled us over the years, right? I remember in Tokyo when she ran 50 point, right? When she ran 50 point, like it was like it was mind blowing, right? It did match when Carson ran 45, right? 300 hurdles. I mean, the 400 hurdles, right? And so like honestly, like she spoiled us. She at one point she had the fastest time in like dang near every event under the 400 hurdles, right? She had run 22.0. And that was at that time was the fastest time. She had the fastest open 400 times from 48. And whenever she was gonna run the 400 hurdles, we knew she was gonna drop a time. And then she opened up in the 100 hurdles at like 12.7. So like she had spoiled us. She's been spoiling us all season, right? But for me, yeah, I needed her to. Not I didn't need her to. For me to have the same reaction as Tokyo, she would have had to dip under 50 point. And like quite naturally, like I didn't think that she was going to dip under 50 point. I knew that she was going to run somewhere around like 50.3 or 50.4, right? And it's great because before today, she had only been kind of like incrementing, like basically Mondo Duplantising the world record, right? Just shaving, taking shave. What I wanted though is I wanted Anna to medal, right? I saw Anna when Anna switched coaches She went down. Well, I don't know if she switched. Well, when she went with Boogie, I saw last season when she was kind of like developing her new race strategy or her new race pattern. And I saw it at the Drake relays and everything like that. So I was like, all right, they cooking over there. Like I know like a lot of people on the outside was like, dang man, she running slow. I was like, no, I'm looking at her pattern. And I know once she figures that pattern out or once she like irons that in, you know what I mean? Like she gonna be cooking. And so I knew that Anna was gonna run well. I was nervous about my college girl. Um was it
Jasmine
Jasmine?
Jones. Yeah.
Jasmine
Yeah, I
Jones.
was nervous about her because I was like, okay, how much has the NCAA season took out of her? She looked great through the round. She looked great all season. You know what I mean? And so I was nervous about that. Femke, uh, for a minute, like, well, I didn't think that Femke, Fem that for hey 47 seconds.
It's
My
crazy.
bro, 47 seconds. The mixed relay, I knew it was gonna tax her. And it kind of reminds me of like as a high school coach, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, do we waste our best athlete on a relay race or do we let them run their race? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I think that like people like a Femke, much like Sally Pearson, she ran the 4x1 relay for Australia and all of that stuff. And there was a couple of years where she was injured because they sacrificed on a relay. And I think that this mixed relay, they sacrificed her. Like one of my homeboys, he was like, she ran her best race 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? 2 or 3 days ago. So I didn't think that Femke had anything for Sid. And so once we got into the race though, I Sid had a step on her first two hurdles, and then at hurdle three, like Femke kind of like they were together,
Hmm.
but like knowing the 400 hurdles because I ran it too, depending on how you attack hurdle 7 and 8, that lets you know how the race gonna go. And when Sid overtook her at hurdle 8, I believe like coming out the curve, I knew it was a wrap. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking too. If y'all watch The Wire, if you come for the king, you gotta come correct. You know,
Yeah.
and it's
No, for
like,
sure.
if you gonna come for Sydney, the world record holder, the greatest of all time, the champion, it's going. I don't know if you could. I don't know if you at that level where you go play around in the mixed 4x4.
Nah,
You know what
yeah,
I
nah, you
mean?
can't do stuff like that. You gotta be like dialed in, like, hey, I ain't doing nothing. Like, wake me up when it's time to race to the
Yeah.
matchup. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you see it she could have afforded to do something like you know what I'm saying, a mixed relay and then came because she was the champ. But when you're trying to take down the champ, you can't be dilly dabbling and over on other stuff, you know what I'm saying? Um, I do like, and so last part about that race though is Jasmine. Jasmine did one final push, right? If she would have like just like committed to pushing a little bit sooner, like off of hurdle 9, if she would have committed off of hurdle 9, she would have got Femke. We'd have swept it.
That's so
We'd have
crazy. We
swept
were so close to
it.
just shutting her out of medals.
Yes. Yes, we
Yeah.
would have swept it. It's like, I mean, hindsight 2020, of course, we can see that, but it's like, it's one of the things like, oh, yo, this is the championship, yo. Like, die for it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And who's to say? I'm not saying she held herself back or anything, but it's like from us looking in and looking at the effort, like if I saw her push, you know what I mean? I saw her make that push for the for that line. Should have started a little bit earlier. Like what I mean? It's much like, and I'm word vomiting, so like y'all let me know to slow down.
No, you're good.
But it's much like in distance racing, right? When you kick, when you
Yeah.
wherever you start to like the motion or the mindset that you're kicking, like you're there until you cross that line. And even though you start kicking, them first 50 meters don't feel like you kicking. It don't kind of like come into like fruition or like become apparent until like those 80 meters afterwards. And then you just ride that out until your legs fall off or you get to the finish line, whichever happens first. And that was much like that, you know what I mean, for Jasmine. But like it was a great race. It was a great race, honestly, for like two to eight, second place to eighth place it was a great race.
So
Sydney was gonna run 50.3, whether she was the only one running. Like when Carson ran the 300 hurdles last, or was a
Mm.
couple of years ago during the pandemic. Like she was gonna go 50.3 whether anybody was in the race or not. Like she didn't need nobody else to do that. That's just how that training camp goes.
So, like, do you think this lived up to the hype then? Because I really felt like this could have been the biggest race. I thought we are gonna get a form of 2019, definitely when Femke's running 50.95. Like, but the race for second, like you said, second to fourth, like that race was incredible. But to see that big of gap, like, it's did it live up to hype for y'all?
Yes and no, but go
I
ahead,
would
Go
bro.
ahead.
say, I would say for me, yeah, kind of similar, like yes and no. It didn't live up to the hype because I wanted to see what I wanted to see was Sydney being challenged. I wanted to see her being challenged and being pushed. And like Zoe, I thought 50.3 was in the cards. That's what I didn't think she was gonna break 50 either, but I knew she was gonna break the world record. And
Yeah,
I thought like Femke was gonna help like push her to get there, but as we saw, it was like nah, she was gonna run that fast regardless. So it does give me, I think she could run faster. If she has someone right next to her, maybe we get a 50.1 or
yeah,
50.2. It makes up 50 seem like it is possible still.
sure. Um, I like I was just saying like this. Femke messed it up for us, right?
Low
Like
key.
she messed it up for us. Like, you know what I mean? Like if she doesn't run the mixed relay, because she put in two heats and like she
Mm.
ran 2 rounds, I believe.
No,
Um,
she just ran the
and, like,
final. She
she
just ran
just
the
ran the
final.
final.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's a hard
and
effort.
yeah, bro, like she ran that, you know what I'm saying? And like so you got to think about all of the things that it took for her to run that relay and win that relay. And so yeah, nah, the gas that she burned in the mixed relay would have made that race more compelling. Now for me though, Anna Cochran running 51 seconds in the 400 hurdles, you know what I mean? And then Jasmine going 52 too. Absolute, like yes, yes, give me all of that, But like for Sid to have like Sydney's pro antagonist or whatever is Femke, and
Yeah.
Femke was not Femke today,
And
And so yeah, that messed up the race for the fans.
to that to be said, Anna Cockrell now number 4 all time, and Jasmine Jones is right behind her. I'm 52 too,
Yes,
right behind her at number 5. Like incredible, one of the fastest Olympic races for the 400-meter hurdles. Now, since you know a little bit, Bobby Kersey a little bit. Like, what do you want to see from Sydney next? I believe I seen a tweet from Jonathan Gold. He said the last 6 times she's raced an Olympic, well, just a 400-meter hurdle final race, if that's at the trials, U.S. championships, or at a world championships, a world record has gone down. Like, what's next for her? She's done everything in this event
yeah.
besides breaking 50. For me personally, I would love to see her attempt that 400 hurdle, 400 double, if the schedule could allow her. But like, what next do you see like for Sydney McLaughlin Levrone, or do we just keep on running up these medals in this 400-meter hurdles?
Nah, so like the 400 hurdle double is insane.
Yeah.
Uh, that's high. That's insane. But with LA coming up in 4 years,
Mm,
Sid's gonna definitely. I can see her running still. She'll still be running. Next year though, I think that they're going to legit make a push for the 400 record. Right? That's what's next. Like the 400 record is next. And so here's the thing though. Once she breaks the 400 record, 49 seconds in the 400 hurdles is like it's a piece of cake. She'll do that. She could do that in Mount Sac. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that like knowing the mad scientist that Bobby Kersey is, um, and like how much of a freak of nature that Sydney is, there's no telling what kind of combination that they'll try to pull off. But yeah, like I think the next thing on the cards is the 400 record. Like Bobby's always wanted the 400 hurdle record, world record, and now he owns it, and it's kind of out of reach. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the next thing on the docket is the 400. So that's what I think. That's what I think is next for Sydney.
Corey was on the pod. Corey Carter was on the podcast with us, and she was saying like from your 400 to 400 hurdles, it's usually about like three ish, two and a
2 seconds.
half, three
Yeah.
seconds.
Depending on how
So
good of a hurdler you are. Yep.
are we saying can Sydney run a 46 open? Is that
Oh,
possible?
um, uh, I mean, I ain't gonna say no, cause she also got the guy factor about her too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's whatever, like legit, whatever Sydney wakes up and believes that she can do, she'll be able to do. But to get to 46, she gotta go 47. And like to be quite honest, Sydney's times is tapping on a lot of male egos.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like she making these young Thundercats that's running track and field like really like look at themselves. Like, I mean, come on now, it's a woman running 50 point in the hurdles. You got no, like, hey, 51 seconds in the 400 hurdles is fast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you got at least like four women currently that can run faster than 52 seconds in the 400 hurdles. They win in NCAA conference meets. You know what I mean? Men's conference 400 hurdles around the country, like legit. So yeah, nah, they got some people gonna be really pushed and pressed because of these times they see it. And 50.3, like, whew.
yeah.
So
That
yeah,
that's incredible. That's incredible.
yeah,
Another. Let's move on though to the men's 200, where we
yeah,
saw incredible performance from Letsile Tebogo. He goes out there, wins it 19.45, an incredible for 19.46 for him. I believe an African record for that.
absolutely.
Pretty close to the. Well, not 1930 is the Olympic record. Kenneth Bederick right behind him. In second place, Noah Lyles
1930
in
got the
third.
Olympic record. 19, that's like 1918 or something like that.
Is it
Usain ran it.
1918?
I don't think
Yeah,
he did he run it at the Olympics though? They got 19.
yeah.
It was
Usain would never
1919?
win fast if he won the Olympics or World Champs.
True, true, true. And then
Yeah,
Arion was
hey,
fourth place
yeah. 1930 was what Noah ran. That's the
at
American record.
Worlds. At Worlds.
Yeah, that's the American record. Yeah,
Okay, 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 okay. But
yeah, yeah.
incredible performance by Tebogo. I think with a lot of people, I was trying to tell when we were on here yesterday, I was telling you, Aaron, like Tebogo looks super good. And I think that we kind of forgot about all the way back in February. Remember when he ran 30 seconds in the 300
Yeah.
meter for the world record?
30.69. Hey,
And he ran
30.69.
44:29 for the 400 in March.
Same day.
Like
Same day.
like we forgot about this, and I know he
I didn't
went through
forget.
the passing of like his mother and everything, and I think that affected him a lot. I remember seeing something about for LA Grand Prix that affected him a lot, where he didn't have the best performance in 100, and Noah wasn't on his best day with COVID and everything, and Kenny just didn't have enough. 19.46 is fast. That's hard to beat. So what you see from Tebogo really in this 200-meter performance?
Hey man, Tebogo, he set this season out to win the 200, right? From, like you said, from the start when he ran 30.69, which is a world record. I don't understand how his is the world best, right?
Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna get the young lady's name right. The young lady that ran a world best in the 2000 was considered a world record. Like if that's a world record,
Oh,
then
Jessica
you know what I'm
Holes.
saying? Like if we talk, you know what I mean, talking about
Mm,
titles, right? But anyways, from the start, when he ran 30.6 and then he went 44.2, we all know that Tebogo ain't trying to run nobody's 400, right? Uh, and honestly, like he did everything that his whole program and his whole camp set out to do. Like I knew he wasn't like, I mean, I can't say I knew, but I didn't have the feeling that he was trying to like, I mean, he wasn't tore up about the way the 100 went, right? But what I did see was like, all right, he putting his race together. He putting his race together. You know what I'm saying? And so Tobago, like, it's one of those things like I put in my story. I was like, I'm disappointed that Noah didn't win, but I'm not surprised that Tobago won. Cause like
yeah.
he was bound to win. Like honestly, this race could have went four different ways. You know what I mean? And none of us would have been like, oh my gosh, I didn't see this coming. Like I'm still waiting for Knightington to put together
Hmm.
his 19-4. You know what I mean? And like homeboy just turned 20. Like, you know what I'm saying? He still got baby fat on his face. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then like to be honest, um, when Kenny Benderrick said at trials, right? I know how to beat Noah, or he knows where he messed up, where he lost it. I don't care what nobody says. Like that's stuck with Noah. Like that's stuck with him. And whether it's stuck with Noah or not, the fact that Kenny said that, let's like that just let us know what kind of mind space he was in. You know what I'm saying? Because like quite naturally, track and field is so mental.
Yeah.
And so Noah has been owning everybody mentally for the last what 4 or 5 years. And so like for somebody to get out of the matrix and be like, hey, this is my race, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually like said it out his mouth. That's something that not a lot of these athletes in 100 and 200 have not been doing. Like he said it. He said it out his mouth. That changed the game. So it was like, so for me, like Noah wasn't gonna beat Kenny twice, like flat out. Now, like you said, Kenny didn't expect nobody else to go 19-4, but like yeah, I didn't like Noah wasn't going like it was gonna be a dog. That was gonna be the race of
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be a dogfight without a doubt.
so
Like,
so do we think does this are you do you think people see like a chink in Noah's armor right now since he took this loss like oh it's possible to beat him because of course a lot of guys thought oh yeah I got this dude in the 100. It's like the Jamaican some people may have underestimated him in the 100, but then in the 200 everyone been like hey you know what I can't say nothing when he say we gonna be devastated because that's he be devastating us. So do you
yeah.
feel like Tebogo, Benerick, and this you think this opens up the door to make people feel like, oh yeah, I could go at him in the 200 too.
No, no, and here's why. Noah still has the fastest times, right? Uh,
Yep.
and now he has one of the fastest times in 100 as well. Like I think that it's giving more athletes confidence, but has it put a king like the only part that hurts Noah is the fact that he's never won the 200 in the Olympic Games, right? That's the only thing, right? But I think that these Olympics, for the lack of better words, humbled Noah, right? And I saw it in the rounds of the 100 when like he got out and like they was right there. Usually, especially like first round. Yeah, first round. Usually it's a jog, you know what I mean? And it's like it's a clear distance and like, all right, this is gonna be a cakewalk, you know what I'm saying? And like Keishane Thomas running 977 at his trials definitely like sent a message. But I think that and for me, like I said, the fact that he couldn't run away, he didn't run away from any of the rounds in 100, like in regards to like margin of victory, and he said it out his mouth that he thought these dudes was gonna lay down for him, like that was the thing that like that kind of messed him that kind of messed with him. You know what I'm saying? Now him winning 100, that definitely like for me, I like Noah because he puts up, right?
yeah.
He puts up flat out. He gonna talk his talk and he gonna walk his walk. Like a lot of athletes don't do that. Now, to that same point though, when we got to the 200, um, the rounds didn't look. They weren't typical Noah, right? Noah didn't own any of those rounds. In fact, he lost the semis, right? And in championships, you don't really like give up the semis. If you lose the semis and you're favored to win, like it gets really, really hard for you to win the whole thing.
And that put him
Well,
in a bad lane. Well, that's what
yeah,
we are talking about the day before, all the way in lane 5 compared to Kenny in 8 and Tebogo in 7. Like that's where we're talking about yesterday. I was like, I don't know how he's gonna battle from lane 5 and do that. Like
Well, like, yeah, like, so, like, yeah, scientifically, it's a bad lane, right? But like, it's all like lane five has always any other time been a great lane.
Hmm.
Now, the preferred lane has been like lane seven, you know what I'm saying? But like the middle of the track is like he was in the best possible place because he got to see the whole field.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? With Noah, like Noah being who he is and what he's done in the past, him being able to see the whole field was his advantage. But the confidence of the field was his disadvantage, right? Everybody wanted to take him down. Everybody wanted to take him down. You know what I'm saying? And like, and it's one of those things where it's like if you run faster than 19.5, like I don't see many people come like you know what I'm saying coming for you. And then so when you dip into like 19.4, it's like, hey, like it's not many people that's gonna be able to stand up and do that. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I think that he was shook mentally. He got shook mentally way too many times at this championship, and that's what affected him. You know, and like let's be honest, like 1979. Like that takes
Facts.
somebody. That's film case 47.9. To be honest, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Um, and
That's
like
a PR to do that, like a
yes,
PR, a big, all the emotion that goes into it. And then even if it's not even COVID, where like somebody that
yeah,
has a prior experience with asthma, but then
hmm
also even just the sickness that comes after, even if it's just a cold or whatever, like you could tell that he went to the well for that 979. So I really think that like this is as much as like they did beat him. I still have a lot of confidence in Noah Lyles. It's just to the fact of all like you said, like he shows up in big races like multiple time and time again. He hasn't done it at the Olympics yet, so we'll see how LA 2028 goes. But it's just to the fact of all like world championships next year, he will be more prepared to like for this 1-2
Yeah.
double, especially with now Kashane's like he's hopefully he gets faster. You know what I mean? And like he's running 9.7s too.
man.
So like he gonna have to be
This
ready to do that back to
he
back.
he saying getting fast is a problem for the world. Like that's a
Yeah.
problem. You know what I'm saying? But he moves like a football. That's a football player getting down that track. Like that's like he looks like a freight train. Like he like high key he's scary. Like running like full tilt. You know what I'm saying? But like their body types are totally different. Like Noah's like slim and sleek,
Yeah.
and Keyshawn is like big and like like barely getting down that track. But like, yeah, no, to be honest, like I don't think like I said, Noah fine, Noah be all right,
He's still a double. He did this double at Worlds just the year
bro.
before.
But they weren't
Yeah,
To
running
be
like this
honest,
though.
no, but I
yeah,
mean, I think that to be honest, for me, like if he didn't have COVID, if he wasn't, I feel like he would have won. But that's coulda, woulda, shoulda. He ain't gonna say that. But I
yeah.
feel like he would have won. He would have been a better. He would have maybe been his preferred lane and won that semis, and we would have saw him run like close to 19.3 maybe. Like
I don't
I
know,
don't
my guy.
know.
COVID, no COVID. It like so. The question is, when did he start getting his symptoms? If he got COVID, when did he get COVID? Right. That's question number one, right? But then like outside of that, like that's the main question. But outside of that, I still don't. I don't know if he wins it this year again. Like,
Do you have a problem? People are asking a lot of this. Seeing in the chat, do you have a problem with him competing with COVID? People are saying he put other athletes in danger of getting sick.
hey, he
Is
dapped the Tebogo up after the 200, and I was like, "Hey, bro, what you doing?" Hey,
No, that's crazy.
hey, like no, like because COVID is one of those things that like we don't know what we don't know, and it's like it hits everybody's system differently,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Like my daughter Harper, she had COVID when she was like 4, and she was like 3. She was probably 3, 2 or 3, and none of us knew. Like she was kicking it like it was no problem. You know what I mean? Like my father-in-law, he got COVID one time and he was asymptomatic, and you know what I mean? But then COVID's taking family members out. You
Yeah.
know, my partner, he just came back from a family reunion, and people caught COVID there, and like it took some people out. You know what I mean? So it hits everybody differently. So it's super irresponsible if that is the case to have COVID around there and like you know what I mean. But I mean, and,
He,
and like people not know. I don't know. I really like for
he,
me. I feel a way about it. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't like it, right? Because let's go back to Tokyo.
He would have
My
not
man
raced in
Sam Kendrick,
Tokyo.
huh?
In Tokyo, like
oh,
he would
you
have not
saying you saying
raced.
Sam Kendricks? He got sent home.
Sam Kendrick got left at the facility. Like
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like so, like if we keeping it a buck, like that's not cool. If he really had COVID, you know what I'm saying? Like I love Noah to death, but like that's not cool. Like y'all, like Sam Kendrick was in his room in a whole building by himself. You know what I'm saying? And he still feel, you know what I'm saying, bad about it. But like, you know what I mean? Everybody's taking their precautions. Like they didn't make there wasn't like any like super stringent parameters like health wise, you know what I mean, to protect people from COVID. But yeah, like nah, I mean he had his mask on like the whole time from what I hear
Yeah.
outside of when he was racing, but I mean, so yeah, no, I mean, I'm on the ropes about it, but I feel I don't like it
It goes to
more than
Chris Chavez put out a tweet when he had a conversation with Noah in the mix zone, and he was asking him, did like Kenny Bednarik and the rest of the team know? And he said, no, we were trying to keep this close to the chest. Most of the people that knew were the medical staff, my coach, my mom, my family. We were trying to keep it as close to the chest as possible. So like there were people, USA like medical staff that didn't know, and I'm sure if they were like there had to be the coach, the USA coach, like knew. So like they should have pulled him out, or like they said you can be able to run whatever the medical protocol is. So like they must have felt like it was fine, you know? Like shoot, he
yeah.
trying to win a
Hey,
gold.
hey, man,
Sure.
The way they treating COVID now versus the way they was treating COVID at the beginning, like it's different. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I'm a school teacher, and it's like what you mean he could come back to school because he even though he got COVID and all of this stuff, he just needs to wear. Well, you need to tell us that this kid got COVID so we can like, you know what I'm saying, act accordingly. But like, yeah, no, I mean, it's just the thing that I still don't play with. I respect. I don't know what COVID is. I don't know how COVID moves about, but I respect the hell out of COVID. You know what I'm saying? Because again, all of our like everybody has different like you know what I'm saying propensities to getting sick. And for me, I don't want to play with nobody else's immune systems or
Facts.
anything like that, right? There was an article, my homeboy Pancho just shared with me this article that was basically talking about how the games is like practically a super spreader. Like the
Mm.
number of COVID cases is spiked. You know what I'm saying? And so it's gonna be interesting to see like what the world is like after these games.
So I think my question before we move on from the 200 and we get to these 110 hurdles, do we
Yeah,
put like I guess it's a matter of I think it's gonna come down to the coaches about do we put Noah Lyles like in the 4x1 and how he feels just overall. But like without him in the 4x1 too, like do you think we still got a good enough team with today this
absolutely.
this morning it
They
was
don't
Christian.
they don't need Noah to win gold in this 4x1. They just ran 37-4.
Facts, and with two hands too with that
Hey,
first
yeah, Christian grabbed his dude hand and handed him the stick and
I
then
saw
let him
that.
go. And they still, and you know what I'm saying? So like, nah, like they don't like honestly, now that they've come out with the fact that he has COVID, like it's very irresponsible of Team USA to like allow him to like be a
Yeah,
part of that relay and like quite naturally like be around for real. You know what I'm saying? Because again, you got to keep your team, you got to keep everybody else safe. Like what the other 119 athletes that, well, it ain't that many, but like you got to keep all of those other athletes safe. You know what I mean? And so I'm interested to see what Sam Kendrick has to say about all this.
That's a great
he
question.
probably yeah
But
he passionate I believe.
I got one more thing on Noah before we move on. I know we've been on this
Yeah.
for a little bit,
Go ahead,
but
Aaron.
Joshua, a couple episodes you asked me, what does it mean, if Noah didn't win the 100, but he gets gold in the 200, what does that mean? We were kind of talking about that, and
Yeah.
it ended up being flipped coincidentally, like whoa, like he actually got a bronze in the two, and he got gold in the one, and now he's not even gonna get to run the 4x1. You know, I guess it's like I still think if he would have won the one, the two, that would have just put him in such a rare to five air. But he's still already there, getting being the fastest man in the world now, just having that belt and then getting the bronze. But do you feel like Joshua that kind of changed anything? Going back to that question.
I don't think so because I think what you said, Aaron, what you said yesterday, Aaron, is really the legacy that we're gonna have from for Noah for like the rest of time. This guy is polarizing, like the same way to connect it straight to Zoe. He's like Lolo Jones, like he is just as
Nah, he
polarizing.
not. He not. Nah, he not. Them not the same people,
Yeah,
bro.
they're not the
Them
same, but I'm
not the
just
same
saying
people.
Lolo,
Nah,
like
no,
Noah.
no, no. He like I would put him in a space with Usain before I put
Yeah.
him with Lolo.
But I just mean
Like,
as in media wise, like and media
nah,
wise,
like
he's gonna get
no,
every single part of coverage, and everyone has a positive or a
nah,
negative
no,
opinion about Noah
no.
Lyles. We're seeing it
I
right
That's
want to
not
now
hear
in
the
the
what Zoe.
games.
I want to
It's
hear what Zoe
everywhere.
got to say. I want to
It's
hear what Zoe
not
got
the
to say.
same. Here's why it's not the same, right? Because he got medals. He
True, true. Yeah,
won.
yeah, yeah,
He's earned every headline. He's earned every bit of coverage. He's earned every sponsorship. He's earned every cameraman that follows him, bro. Like, and so like he's put in the hard work. He put him, like I said, he put himself out there and he put out. Like he put up and he don't have to shut up, right? He's gotten like he has brought eyes to the sport in the best way, right?
Mm.
We don't have like he got the documentary, he got all of these other things, like, and he's doing this like he's doing. I legit do think that he's doing this for our sport, right?
yeah, yeah.
I
Um,
do too.
Absolutely,
I do
and
too.
absolutely.
but like he's one of those things. He's like he's main character energy, like, right? And like I said, rightfully so. He's done all of the work. He won 100. He did the double. Ain't nobody did the double since Michael Johnson. Any kind of double successfully in the sprint realm since Michael Johnson. I mean,
What
no, I take that back. My bad. Since
Since
Usain,
American though, since
right?
he's honestly Noah Lyles. What separates him? He's his own person. Let's just get that straight though. Like he's his
yeah,
own thing.
absolutely. I'm just
But
He's
all I
wait,
was
I'm
all
just
I, wait,
saying.
hold on, Aaron. All I was trying to say, I was just saying the polarizing factor that people have
Yes,
such a
I get what you're
negative
saying.
and a positive
yeah,
opinion. That's all I
But
that's all I
to
was
Zoe's
bringing up
point,
within there.
what separates him from her, and
yeah.
I don't want to make it about comparing to anyone. All I want to say about Noah is everything he does is for the sport though. And like the better comparison at the end of we'll see at the end of Noah's career is going to be Michael Johnson. Because what Michael Johnson's trying to do for the sport right now in a way.
Yeah.
Like where he's going to be
But like
remembered
where
as a
we are right
champion.
now, no, but where we are right now with him as a character, like, because that's what you're talking about. Him as a character, like again, like he's the closer to Usain, right? He stepped into that role of like us needing somebody to like entertain us consistently in the
Yeah.
sport, right? And like honestly, he does it better than Usain because he shows up to more races than Usain did, right? When Usain showed up, he gave us a show. Not time wise, right? It was just his aura by that time, right? Usain, like I said before, Usain only ran fast at championships, right? And the closer he got to the end of his career, them times weren't all that. But
He
Noah,
win.
he wins, right? And we can talk about that another day, like records versus medals, right? Which one is better, right? But right for Noah shows up, he entertains us, and he rolls out. So again, like he is in a different space, and like I said, he earns every bit of coverage that he gets. Now for me, the thing that I was thinking in my head, and since we on this podcast, I'll share it. One, we talked about him having COVID, right? I thought that was very irresponsible for him to have COVID knowingly and like not share and be in these spaces, right? But like two, like if they weren't gonna outright go out with the he got COVID, then I'm gonna need like I would have liked for him to be a little bit more graceful in like taking his L, right? Either he's more graceful in taking his L, hurry up and get a mask and dap people up, I'll be like, congratulations or whatever, or like flat out, pass out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be one extreme or the other. But like the way he like sat down because it made it seem like he had hurt his leg at first, right? Like he was like it looked like he's been over and grabbed his leg. Then like the crew came over and everything, and they all in his face. Like, come on, like they didn't even have masks on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they all in his face and they gave him some water. They put him in a wheelchair and all of this stuff. Like all that midline theatrics. Like I didn't need that. Like I needed him to either be like, all right, like I'm gassed. Congratulations. Look, I'm gonna take my L. Let me take my flag. Because I don't even think he took his flag
Yeah, I don't
pictures.
think he did.
Either he does that or he pulls a Wade Van Niekerk, right? When Wade won, he passed flat out. The ambulance took him to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? It needed to be one thing or the other. Like in my opinion.
Mm.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Men's 110 hurdles. Crazy.
Yeah.
Grant Holloway finally getting that gold, that redemption, or really just earning what he rightfully does deserve to be an Olympic champion in the 110 hurdles, running a 12:99. I think the biggest thing, Daniel Roberts right behind him, completing the 1-2 sweep for USA in a 13:09. Rashid Broadbell with him in third place from Jamaica in 13:09. A crazy thing about Daniel Roberts and Grant Holloway before we get into all of this, these guys have been racing with each other since 2017. They've raced each other 30 times. They've raced at SEC championships, NCAA championships, US championships, world championships, Olympic trials, and now at the Olympic Games finals, and still coming 1-2. Like that's insane. That's really,
Yeah.
and they're gonna keep on going for years to come. Zoe, hurdle expert, 110s, like. What was your reaction in just watching this race and seeing US back on top, really, like getting this 1-2 sweep?
Yeah. Nah, yeah, like I don't like you say back on top. I don't necessarily think we ever was like not on top in the hurdles. But like for me, I was glad that my man Daniel like put it together. Like, because Daniel started off the season rolling out. Like this, Daniel was going to get a medal from his first race this year. You know what I'm saying? He was destined to get a medal. Um, and like the last couple of championships, like something crazy has always happened to Daniel, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, I was just great. I was just glad that he like got to the final and like ran clean through the final. You know what I'm saying? Clean enough to get the medal, right? Um, I was I'm not surprised about Broadbell because Broadbell looked really good in semis, right? And he rolled out at Jamaican, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I still think that my man Freddie Crittenton had it in him to get the medal. Like I would have, for me, like I would have been like, yes, if we would have swept it. We could
Yeah.
have, I'll say that. We could have swept it. But I would say that repechage heat um, probably took a bit out of my man's legs. And like honestly, whatever caused Freddie to have to do the repechage, I think he had like they call it a nickel or whatever, like the European
A nickel?
term
Yeah.
was
It's like,
like
wait, whoa, wait, what you
He
say?
said, hold on.
injury, right?
Okay.
Whatever kind of strain irritation that happened, I think that cost us our third medal. But Grant's the fastest to six hurdles, flat out. Um, and nobody had it in them to like run that down. So like yeah, no, I'm glad that he was finally able to get his goal in 110s. And that's rare. Like, cause like if you look at the pedigree of like hurdlers, they either dominate the world championships and they don't get like the gold in the Olympics,
Mm-hmm.
or they get the gold in the Olympics and they don't quite pull it off in the championships, right? And so for Grant to finally, you know what I'm saying, do that, he put it together like perfectly. And I was like, yes. Um, and like he did it and he did it in under 13 seconds, right? So it kind of validates it even more. Like I hated watching whatever championship, the championship where was that in Eugene 19 when it was like
Seven.
4 or 5 people that was, it was like 3 people in the final.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
2022. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But so this was legit. And like I mean, like when you talked about legacy because of people don't have goals or whatever. I think that's the worst thing that the sport has done to track and field, right? Um that expectation to win gold or bust, right? If you don't win golds, you ain't did nothing. Like I think that's the worst part about the sport, you know what I mean? And I think that whether Noah ever, if Noah never wins the gold in the 200, which he'll probably win in London or what, I mean not London, LA. But if he never wins, um, that doesn't change the fact that he's still one of the greatest like 200 runners like in history and considered like one of the GOATs, right? GOAT sprinters, right? I think that destroys a lot of athletes though, you know what I mean? So it's like they don't win, they get silver, and like all of us be like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying, turn our head and walk away. It's like, no, that's not fair. Like, it's really hard, one, to make it to any kind of national trials, right? It's hard
Mm.
to qualify for any kind of national team unless you're one of those countries where they pick you. It's hard to make it to a world championships or an Olympic, you know what I'm saying, or Olympics. And then it's hard to get through the rounds at any of these championships. And so for anybody that's getting to any one of those places, like, no, that's a big deal. Like, not it's not a lot of people doing that. All of that stuff is rare air, you know. And I think that us as connoisseurs of the sport need to like continue to tell those stories in that way and stop like looking down on people because they just a finalist or they're just a semifinalist or they just got silver. Like it shouldn't be a just got this. You know, like they won silver, they won bronze. You know what I mean? I think that we need to start telling a story like that, because you know they be like track and field athletes. You know you're there. Like they grind. Like they taking out jobs and loans just to like show up to trials or just to get here, maxing out credit cards just so they can fly family to a championship so they can see them because the coverage is not the best. I won't say trash, it's not the best. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a lot of other things that go into place and for us to diminish any of these people's successes or efforts because they didn't get the gold is like we gotta stop. That's criminal. We need to stop that.
Yeah, that makes me think about Michael Norman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had a bad race, but I mean, I'm gonna remember Michael Norman always. I mean, his career is definitely not done. But yeah, he's someone, but you're gonna remember him as one of the greatest 400-meter runners. You remember him for what he was in high school, making it to Olympic trials. And I think
Yeah.
not to just get stuck on Noah again. I think I'm already gonna, like you said, Joshua. Noah's already solidified for who he is, like as a person. Like he's taking that spot where Bolt was sitting, and it's like I just know it's someone who's gonna do something with it, and that's what I really respect about him. And he's gonna make sure he does something with being that person who is like, front facing for track and field, and you can even segue that into Grant. He's gonna be remembered if even if he didn't get this, he's remembered as like one of the goats of just track and
Oh,
field
he already is,
I
generally.
bro, to be
think I
honest.
think Grant needs to be pushed to the forefront a lot more.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I'm
think
saying?
so
Yes.
too. He's
Like
dominant, bro.
Like, I think it's kind of messed up that the only people that was like really focused, the focal points of the United States in track and field this year was Noah Shakari and Sydney,
Mm.
right? Like, nah, bro, we got the top everything. Like,
Yeah.
why was Ryan Krauser being talked about? Ryan Krauser should have been, he should have
Facts.
been all over the place. Anything dealing with weightlifting, anything like dealing with beer, like everything, like Ryan Krauser should have been up there. Grant should never not be talked about. You know what I'm saying? Um, like the like all of this stuff, like like there's just this way too our distance runners, like you know what I mean? Like no, like
But
to Tara, the
yeah,
long jumper, like,
I
she does a lot. And she has that aura about her that should definitely be like kind of pushed a lot more. And but like when you just focus on the same thing they did during Usain Bolt's era, you only focus on Bolt. When Bolt goes, they're like, all right, like
who's next?
this what's this again? This track? How you spell it? You know what I'm saying? So like adding more, pushing more characters to the forefront gives the sport like more life.
But I think a big mistake that even just we had when Aaron Jascott was on, she was talking about just like the production and everything of the Olympics and just talking about how we liked it so far. I think a big mistake like Paris is making is not making all these finals just as hype as the men's 100-meter final. Like that entire production that they had. I know you can't do
Yeah,
that like for every single event, but having something similar with lights and just the music and everything like that, especially for something that's on the straightaway like a men's 110 final,
it
you
should
could
have,
build it
yeah.
up to that level. But why just do that? You didn't even do that for the women's 100 at all. You didn't even do that for the men's 200, which was just as a hype race. Like to just do that for, is that all they had in the budget? Like I don't know. Like why we do that?
TV time.
No, it's whack because like honestly, like to that same point, they played whatever song they was playing way too long for the men's 100. Like they
Yeah,
everybody was just sitting there like, all right, like you just need to play the first 15 seconds of the song. But to that point, maybe they got bad reviews about like, you know what I mean? They started that in Doha. Doha
yeah.
turned us out, bro. Like Doha like did us in when they cut the line. I think it was Doha. It was either Doha or
I'm sure it was
It was
Doha. I think it was Doha.
it
Yeah,
was Doha, right? Cut the lights out. They had the laser show and the whole nine, and like they had their faces going down the track and their names and stuff. Like, nah, like, and then, like, so if they ain't got nothing, if they ain't got the budget for that, that mean they spent some money. Somebody else got money that they weren't supposed to get, you know. But do y'all remember that documentary on HBO about the Olympics and how it like decimates the cities,
I think
oh
I don't
yeah,
know if I seen that, but I heard it.
yeah.
yeah.
But
I've heard of
yeah,
it.
nah, I think that part was messed up. Like, yeah, they definitely should have played up everything. But again, that's because like we gotta figure out different ways to give topic titles to others events, right? Like Noah sacrificed his baby to 200, right? My coaches, my coaches was talking about it. It's like Noah he cheated on his wife for his mistress, the 100,
Yes, I
right? And
seen
I was
someone
like,
comment he got his
like,
mistress pregnant. That's what someone said. I was like,
and
dang.
but like the mistress showing more love. Like Noah was dominating 200, like, and everybody was like, like the 200 ain't never been hype,
That's why
right?
Fred went over there too. He was like,
Let's keep it a
"Oh, you
buck. Like
saw?"
when Allison was rolling out in the 200, like it was like like when nobody else racing in the 200, everybody was showing up in the 100, right?
Yeah,
Everybody and at that time, everybody was showing up in the 100-meter hurdles. Wasn't nobody really running the 200. So like when you get somebody to slide in 200 and can dominate like that, it's like yeah, that's amazing. But like here, the real race is in the 100 meter hurdles at that time. But like for Noah, like there are more players in the 200, but even still he could win every 200 from now until he's retirement age. He'll never get that title, world's fastest man. He had to run 100, which is like you said, which is why Fred left the 400. Ain't no money in the 200. Ain't no money in the 400. Money in the 100. Everybody wants to pay and everybody wants to see the 100, right? Which is why as coaches I hate it's a headache. You know, everybody think they run the hundreds like, nah, bro, you 800 runner for real.
Yeah,
you're an 800 runner trying to run the 100.
Yeah.
you you know, a whole different event. I want to bring up too the women's long jump to talk about for a brief second because we got an Olympic champion and Tara Davis Woodhull. Before we went into all this, like our preview, I was telling Aaron, bro, she's gonna have to jump 7 meters, get that consistency of doing that at the championship level. She wasn't able to do it in Tokyo, but does it today in a 7.10-meter jump. The biggest surprise gotta be Jasmine Moore in third place, 6.96 meters. I believe she's the second person ever to win Olympic medal in the long jump and the triple, which is absolutely insane for someone that's so young. I believe in her second global championship as well and doing this. Zoe, what was your reaction to seeing Tara? She's so fast down the runway and like does
I, like Tara is a lot like Tebogo. You know how I was talking about Tebogo, how he ran the 300 and the
yeah.
400 like get his championship. Like in Sydney ran the 200. I mean, yeah, the 200 and 110, the 100 hurdles to like get her championship. Tara, she's like one of those athletes that she could hop into 100. She could run like I think she was like a 12.6 hurdler. You know what I mean? And there's workouts where she has workouts where she is hurdling and everything like that. So like she's built to be doing what she's doing. Like she's worked to be doing what she's doing to that level, right? I like again, like you said, she needed to jump 7 meters, right? To kind of ensure that she could get gold. But the young lady, I'm not gonna get her name right, and I'm mad about that.
I think
The young
Malika
lady that
Mahambo. I think that's
Mahambo,
pronounced.
yeah. She she was going she could have she had a bad day,
Yeah.
right? Tara's gonna have to PR to beat her. Like cause Mahambo, like both of them are kind of like tit for tat right now. They are they tit for tat. Is it Monet? No, no, not Monet. The
Yeah,
Monet was the one that she's the other jumper. But Moore,
Yeah, Jasmine.
what's
Jasmine
Jasmine
Moore.
Moore?
she
So
got
what's
there.
the so is Jasmine Moore, Jasmine Jones? Is Jasmine Jones the
Jasmine Jones,
Jasmine
the 400
Jones is the
hurdler.
4 hurdles.
we got a
Yeah.
lot of Jasmines around here, right?
No, we do.
Okay, I
There's a
just
lot of
want to make sure
Jasmines in
that
track. Not even gonna
Shout
we
lie.
out
don't have
Jasmine
like,
Todd too. That's the homie.
yeah. Hey,
Jasmine
so
Graham.
look, Jasmine Moore, like jumping, like doing that, like again, when we talk about players, right? And like people that we should be pushing, like that's something that we need to be talking about more. Like
Yeah,
we struggle in the jumps, like, and we've struggled in the triple jump, right? And so
Yep.
for us to medal triple jump and this same person come and medal in the long jump, like, hey, we here. Like, and like honestly, I feel like once Monet figures it out, like we could very well sweep the long jump. Like Brittany and Don were on live earlier, and like Brittany's like looking at this like, yo, it took 7:30. Like you need to be jumping like 7:20, 7:30 back when she was jumping.
Hmm.
And that was just maybe like 5, 6 years ago. You know what I mean? So the sport the event is changing, and I think we got to figure that out as a country. Well, shucks, as a world, like we just like we're not jumping that far, men's side or women's side, as Americans, like, but like yeah, like Tara winning was like it was a legit win. Like you said, she jumped 7:10, right? That's a legit distance. Like it'd have been different. It'd have been like congratulations if she would have won with like 690, right? Because then we'd be like, man, that's I mean,
Yeah. But
but like that's
710,
that's
that's
the
that's
that's
legit.
legit. You know
That's
what I mean?
legit.
Like
That's
so,
legit. Aaron, anything? Or you want to get on to this last topic?
I would say Tyra Davis winning gold, superstar, great for the sport.
Great
Great
for
for
yeah,
the
the sport.
sport for sure. To see her up there because she's has so much energy, so fun. Great story with her with the Woodhalls. Like Hunter Woodhall, I think won a medal two at the Paralympics right
Oh,
now. Or it's Paralympics
they haven't
they haven't
yeah.
medaled
started
yet.
So,
yet.
But he
All right,
but
he
I'm
he
ran.
rolled
tripping.
out.
Did he get
He
the
ran
world? I think he got the
46.0.
world record in the 400.
Yeah, he just ran 46.0 in the 400
Yeah.
at trials.
Okay.
Or was it the
Okay.
100 he got the record in? He got the record in, or he got some record, I believe. But yeah, he ran a
I don't
good
know.
100 and a 400. So
Rolling. He rolling.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He
But
needs a nickname. I don't understand why he don't have a nickname yet.
yeah, someone need to give him one. Last one before we get out of here. Hey, Quincy Wilson, he running, bro. Quincy
Oh
Wilson
yeah.
running.
Yeah.
Let's go. Youngest
Yeah, yeah,
American
yeah.
ever to compete at the Olympics. Quincy Wilson is going to be running the 4x4. Man, I'm going to have to wake up tomorrow morning. I'm going to have to wake up 1 a.m. to see Quincy Wilson
Oh,
run live. Like, low key, I'm going to have to
Yeah.
do it.
oh.
I'm going to
You
have to
think he
That's
do it.
gonna?
what everybody wanted to see.
Yeah, he's only gonna be in the prelim, right? He ain't gonna get in that.
That's
They
the
ain't gonna put him in
question. What
that
are you going to
final.
have to run to get into this final? What do you going to have to run? What Quincy got to
Um,
split?
hey, that don't matter. They just need to choose him. Like I don't think he cannot run fast enough to get on that final. Like they would have to choose him because I remember like there was a cat that rode at another championship. He didn't make the final. Like
Jeez.
they gonna put in the final who they want to put in the final,
Yeah.
right? I think that uh I think that quite naturally the way Michael Norman, he gonna show up, right? Um, he might have space to hop in on somebody on the relay somewhere, but I know who not gonna be in that 4x4, Noah Lyles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
But
That's for sure.
but yeah, like nah, like Quincy Wilson, like he'll like I'm happy for him. I'm excited for him. There was a lot of drama surrounding like whether he was running or not because people was like, yo, why he ain't in a mixed relay? You know? But yeah, I hate that they broke the world record in a mixed relay and did not get gold.
Yeah.
right? Um, that I
But
think that's the
honestly, like I'm kind of, cause I was mad about that. Well, I wasn't mad, I'm just frustrated. Like it made me kind of like have disdain for Femke, cause I'm like, Femke, you don't need to do all that. But now it's kind of, it all came back, like, it all came back. Like I'm not even trying to be off. It all came back though. It's just like, oh, that's why
you
we
say
don't
that's
do that.
karma?
He said
I
it
didn't.
was karma.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying that's why we didn't do it. We're deep enough. Like she has to do that. Like she has to do
Hey,
that for Netherlands. Like,
that's but like look, that's why I love track and field, right? No matter who you are, no matter what your times were, no matter what your name is, when you show up, when we toe the line, it's anybody's race, right? In any event, right?
yeah.
And like championships ain't given. You saw the 200, it's taken. You got to take it, right? And so like, even though Femke, I mean, all she was gonna get was silver. Like let's not act like Femke was gonna beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like he was only gonna get silver. So like I mean, and like quite naturally, I mean, we still don't know that, but
Yeah,
again,
because the Anacocro rolled out.
yeah, like
Yeah, you never
man,
know. Never know going over
like
those
for real,
hurdles.
like you know what I mean. That's one of them butterfly effect things. If things was different, what would happen, right? Shoot, America probably sweep, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like now, like yeah, like I'm excited for Quincy Wilson running the 4x4. Everybody gonna be up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to watch that. I know Dawn Gas, she's so excited. She already sleep, right?
No, that would
But
be
yeah,
that's
we're
gonna be a hype
excited.
race to call because that's gonna be everywhere. That's literally gonna
Yeah,
be everywhere when he get the baton. But I want
yeah.
last I forgot to say this when the 400 hurdles like went off, like when the gun started. It got so loud in the stadium. Like you could tell how hype it was even just before just the race. Like they won it. Like it definitely it lived up in that way. We wish we could have got a faster time, but yeah, like
Yeah.
imagine if Sydney would have ran a 47 with her. Like I don't know if she would have broke the world record in the mixed relay. So like it's cool that we have a deep team and that we can do that. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
like I mean, I think I think time, no time, like it would have been more exciting if FMK was closer, flat
Yeah,
out. That's it. You know what I mean? Like we and this is what Michael Johnson is trying to prove is proving with his Grand Prix, right? We just want to see matchups. Like times is cool, but times don't mean nothing if like, you know what I'm saying, you like my girl can I think of her name right now? That my girl that has the American record that has no gold medals. You know what I'm saying? I cannot. I'm so
Who has
sorry. I am not,
and what event?
and what event?
the 100 hurdles. Oh,
Oh, you talking about wait, the American did Masai just get the American record? No?
nah, the
No.
American record is like
I forgot.
it's 12:20. Um, Kenny,
Oh
my
yeah,
bad,
Kenny
bro. Like,
Harrison.
Oh,
Yeah.
yo, Kenny rolls out.
yeah.
Rolls out. A lot of these people, a lot of athletes everywhere on every level, they roll out when there's no competition. But like what we want to see is as fans of the sport and fans of sport flat out, what we do want to see is the best or people who say they're the best to get on the line together. And we don't get to see those things a lot, which is why the Olympics and the World Championships are such a big deal because those are the times where people got to show up. You know what I mean? So like, I mean, we just wanted a closer race, you know.
No, no.
AI.
So hey, the men's 400 hurdles.
Ooh.
Um, my man's Rise looking amazing, right? Rise looking amazing, and I don't see Carson beating him, bro.
I'm with you.
I don't see Carson beating him.
So, what have you seen change from Rye since, that loss in 2021? You were talking a lot about like hurdle patterns and
Hmm.
things like that. What has Rye developed, you feel like, over the past couple of years that's putting him over the top right now?
That dog, the
That
Quincy
dog
that
is just
dog, dog.
simple.
It ain't nothing else but that dog, cause like it's like one of them things where like I'm the best, right? And I line up like I'm the best. And like the way he going through these rounds, the way he been running this whole season, like it's that dog, it's that like it's that dog in him not like and for real, that's just it. Like the race pattern he had 4 years ago, like could have beat him back then, but Carson just was he Carson, that Norwegian
He
dog,
was
is
acting different. Yeah.
different,
Yeah,
right? He trained in 15-degree weather with no shirt on. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I think
crazy.
that was for views, but like y'all saw him lifting deadlifting the 1,000 pounds or whatever, a quarter squatting them 1,000 pounds or whatever. Like, yeah, like I think though, like when you train at that, when you there that much, like that humanness of you is gonna start to show. But like, no, they gonna roll like now that race, that's gonna be fireworks. Like,
Absolutely.
um, my man's he might dip under 46. Like, but yeah, like it's his goal to lose though. Like, right, like let's
Yeah,
let's
2 and
ride
0 against
that.
them. He 2 and 0 against them this year. So,
You see, yeah. But again, but here's the thing. About championships. You still got to take it. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. Carson gonna go out. Carson gonna die on the
yep,
track. He
Yeah.
willing to
Yeah.
die for it. And so like if that's that again, it's rise to lose, but Rye got to take it. He still got to take it. It ain't his.
absolutely.
And then like cause did Samba, not Samba, not
Dos
Samba,
Santos.
Dos
Dos
Santos.
Santos, did he make it to the final?
Yeah, he's like in lane 3 though. And like
Hey,
they're like all
Hey,
the
he got a
it's like
lane. He
yeah,
got a lane. So
he in
like
there.
again, like just like we was focused on Kerr and Ingebretson, like hey, it's anybody's race. Like those three, man, it's special. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's rise to lose, and like any one of those three, it could go any way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But we appreciate you, Zoe, for coming through. That was
Thanks for
fire.
having me.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped for these next couple of days. Honestly, these next 2 days are just all finals. It's gonna be crazy. Even from the sprints to the distance to the marathon going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's gonna be hype. Aaron, anything else before we get out here, bro?
We're gonna have to bring Zoe back for sure. We're gonna have to bring Zoe back. I'm locked in now for these races.
that's what's up, man. Just let me know.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's get it.
thanks. All right.